Let me make real quick 3 points on that. One is, I've already stated it. I absolutely, and I'm worried. I watched in New Jersey as farmers who felt they couldn't make a living might sell out to Toll Brothers. So we have got to make sure we keep an eye on making sure that agriculture is a viable and important part of our society. We need locally grown, healthy produce. I believe that. I believe it can be done, and we can create these requirements. Second, development standards. We've done it for everything else. You don't go into a standard in any place that doesn't have uniform electrical codes. If every developer has got to do the same thing, it's not favoring or not favoring anybody. It's just raising the level of performance that we require in every single one of these developments. So let's go ahead and do it. The third, now because I'm a lawyer, I get to argue on both sides of a point and recognize the conflict up front. I'll tell you one of my words. I don't know what the answer is to this word. I just feel I have to raise it. The cost of building a development in most cities is more expensive than building it out in a farm field. And most of the development in Washington, D.C. is already here. No matter how high the standard we put on new buildings, most of the buildings that we'll ever know in our lifetimes in Washington are already here. And the cost of retrofitting and building in the places where per capita, per unit, energy, water, land resources on any level is at its most efficient is also where development per acre, per square foot is most expensive. So I'm just raising the point without yet stating that I have, in fact, have some thoughts on this matter, but time will not allow me to go into them, that we have to be mindful that we don't be so tough that we make it easier to build out in a farm field because it would be cheaper there because you can always handle it there. To drive development back, the train stations. Last, let me come back to where I am now. I am in this outfit. My kids think I run a big sewer company. And I say, well, you're exactly right. I think it says so on my shirt. But there's a reason. And we've had breaks this weekend. In fact, what happens is the water that you all are drinking on the table, that water, that came off of the Potomac north of Washington, D.C., Great Falls. That comes down two aqueducts, one of which was built in the Civil War, is bigger than the top of my head, and is still in use. It comes to reservoirs that are on the other side of Georgetown, the Del Carly, it's pumped around town, and arrives here. Well, in the blizzard of 2009, that Saturday night, we had a pipe break on 21st Street, a block and a half from here. And I was at my apartment in Shaw. I had to walk up to our water area because we couldn't get any of our trucks out into the road. We didn't get them out, in fact, till the next morning. I then walked across town because there's no way to get from over in Bryant Street, which is behind Howard University, across to here in 21st New Hampshire. We got down in the swirling snow, and it's cold. And the guys who work for me, there's over 1,000 of them. These guys are on the job 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Think of it being cold and windy and wet. It's really brutal work out there. But you don't have your water on, it's an instantaneous crisis. Our lines light up like a Christmas tree when you all don't have your service, and I don't blame you. But that's the world we live in. So we finally got these off. We got down into the ground. The road was buckling. What happens, by the way, the water cools down very fast. It's coming off a reservoir, so it drops in temperature very quickly. But underground, the ground around the pipe hasn't chilled down yet. So the water going through the pipe is colder than the water in the groundwater that's on the outside of the pipe. So there's a water temperature differential from the outside of the pipe to the inside of the pipe, which causes pressures, boom, they crack. When they crack, they collapse. The road can fall in, water shoots out, the whole system breaks. We've got gas lines, electrical lines. You can't believe what's under that road. I can't believe what's under the road. Just because I got these boots on, I can go look. But we got to this pipe. Do you know when that pipe was put in? The one that burst right around the corner? George McClellan was head of the Army of the Potomac when that pipe was put in. Abraham Lincoln was our president, God rest his soul. But is he thinking that a pipe was put in when he was president was going to be serving water to you all? That's what's happened. Why? And that's one of the other messages. As we roll forward, one of the pieces we're going to have to do here in not only Washington, D.C., but in every one of your communities, is fund what is needed for water and wastewater services in the capacity that's needed. Let me tell you, when those pipes break and that sewage starts to fall, you will pay any money that you've got to make that a fix. And I'm just suggesting that we do that a little bit ahead of time. But thank you. I know I've spoken more than my time, Verna. I somehow think the conversations I was having with you sometime, hoping and praying, you made it happen, my dear. That is so cool. There is no way we win this. There is no way we win this. Because the folks who are up against us, they're organized, they're there. I've testified twice in the last month. They're there, they're ready. I don't blame them. I disagree with them, but they're representing what they believe their interests are. Fine. That means we got to do the same. We got to be organized, we got to be fierce, and we got to be in the game, and then we will win. So, we already have done it with industry. And the battles are